Welcome back to the Daily Lift. Hebrews 5:14 says that solid food belongs to those who are of full age, that is, those who, by reason of use, have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. The Bible writers use many different analogies and illustrations to explain and describe the Word of God. And this helps us to wrap our minds around this multifaceted teaching tool that has been given to us directly from God. And it helps us understand its value, its importance, and where we should place it in our lives today. And the authors of the Bible describe the Word of God as many things. It's the seed of the kingdom in Luke 8, the sword of the Spirit in Hebrews chapter 4. It's a lamp for our feet in Psalm 119. It's described as a hammer and as fire in Jeremiah 23, and here in Hebrews chapter 5 as milk and solid food. And so let's break down this passage here to help us gain a greater insight on how to use the word and what sort of people that we have to be so that we can do so effectively. And so the Hebrew writer here starts off saying it's solid food. This solid food belongs to those who are mature. And so the solid food is the word. And the word is similar to the ocean. We can talk about its beaches, we can explore its currents, or we can discuss the unsearchable depths that we may never fully understand. And just like a baby who is weaning will begin to want the food that all the big people are eating, we too have to desire to move from the basics, from the milk to the more meatier matters. It's that progression from splashing around in the waves on the beach to diving deep. And so this solid food belongs to those who are of full age, that we must be on this process or journey of full maturity. We'll never reach it on this side of eternity, but the journey towards it still must be taken. And it is a lifelong process of eating new and different foods, of learning about nutrition, learning how to cook and prepare meals. This is the process of experience and wisdom and maturity. And that is by those who by reason of use have their senses exercised. So the next step, once we start moving toward maturity, moving from the milk to the meatier things, we have to start training. We have to start exercising. How do you develop a habit? By training, by practicing, by applying it. So we mature and get better by practice, by senses of use. And so the children, they grow and develop by watching and emulating us and their older siblings. And they do things over and over again. Even if they're falling down, even if they're getting hurt, they're going to try over again. And are we doing the same thing? Are we digesting that meat and allowing it to give us strength? If we are, great. Now, what are we using that energy for? And so once we move from that, we are exercising those senses to discern both good from evil. And this isn't talking about explicit Bible teachings, but this is talking about implication. The Bible is very clear on some things. You shall not kill. You shall not steal. You shall not commit adultery, right? We know these things. It's very cut and dry. But there's other things that require wisdom. It requires experience. And these things are for mature people that are in our lives or that have been Bible students for a long time. They possess the ability to take these principles that are laid out and apply them to every aspect of our lives. And so the idea here is that we ought not to stay on the milk of the word, that we ought to always be seeking to progress and grow, because if we're not growing, we're dying. So I want to encourage you today to keep in the word, dispense and eat that nutritious spiritual food, and as always, go lift somebody up.